And this is Loudmouth. Welcome
Welcome.
back to another episode. This time we have our special guest, Chloe.
Woo!
She's special.
Gobble, gobble.
She's special, but not in a way.
Yeah, for the first time on this episode. Our first special person that's not.
And
Yep.
she's a lovely person.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
She has a beanie.
Little known fact, she's actually the artist for all the art on our podcast, which is none yet. Soon to be. Soon to be.
Soon to be an actual logo that will be for a podcast, which is going to be
Whoa.
great. If you have any art yourself that you want to submit because you think you're actually talented in some way, go ahead and send it to our email.
not
Mark, what's our email?
Do not make
Um,
fun of our...
To be decided.
To be decided.
Same.
All right.
Oh,
I guess our first topic should be the knife game.
knife game?
The knife game
Oh, you mean by...
by Rusty
Rusty
Cage. I recently played the knife game, and it was very fun. We played it in class and in lunch. Sadly, though, we cannot play. Sadly, we cannot play in school with an actual knife. We have to do that at home. I won the contest
But why would
And it
you
was
play
very
the
fun.
game at all?
because it's
Because
like a
people are
thrill.
stupid.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What's
the
the
girl
knife
of
game?
Mallory.
Alright,
You don't
so-
know what a knife game is today.
No, just explain it for me and the viewers. because
First, you
I'm
take a
sorry.
knife, then you spread out your palm, and then you stab the
flat
knife
Oh.
in between your fingers,
And it gets faster.
and you go faster and faster
And
and
you're
faster
trying
and
not
faster
to,
and faster
you
and
know.
faster and faster.
Oh, I call it
Fingers.
Charlie Fingers.
Charlie fingers, five finger fillet,
Why, though?
knife game, all that stuff works.
It's just...
Just
And
Charlie
whoever
fingers.
stabs himself is out, and whoever can go the longest and fastest without stabbing themselves win.
Oh no, the song stuck in my
It
head.
was,
Thanks,
it
I
was,
hate
I
you.
remember the knife game being a very big thing back in
It's like-
6th grade.
Oh yeah,
I remember in
like
7th grade we
the
all got in
erasers.
trouble for doing it in like lunch with like
Doesn't
giant
it go,
erasers
like,
and pencils and everything.
I have on my
Fingers,
fingers, the knife goes chop, chop, chop.
If
And
I
it-
miss the spaces in between, my fingers will come off. And if I miss my,
I don't know
if
this.
and if I hit my fingers,
Mark
the
never
blood
made
will
it
soon
past
come
that
out.
point.
Yeah, I've never made it past.
As you can tell.
He was bleeding
As you
by
can tell,
then.
he has, you know, a
3
thumb on
fingers?
one hand.
I think. Well, it's a nub.
I killed a man with
Can't
this
bend
thumb.
I killed a man.
thumb.
Problem.
Okay, friendo.
I love you.
Phone won't connect to the Wi-Fi. Anyway,
Ryan's
Alright.
having Wi-Fi issues.
So-
Any of us have stories from the week?
well, I have a story about what Mark was talking about.
Yeah.
I have a story about how my friends abandoned me on one of my podcasts.
I'm sorry, I
doesn't
had
exist.
a lot of chores yesterday.
If you
Yeah,
watched
you
our bonus
scheduled this
episode, you
room
know what
and
we're
they
talking
didn't
about.
come.
Shout out to
Just
Michael
my
V,
chores.
the only one who bothered to
He's the
show.
only one,
You're
and
not
he's
my
not
favorite.
even part of the
Subscribe to
Okay.
Michael's channel, which doesn't exist.
Yeah, subscribe to Michael's life. He's very interesting.
I don't know.
So,
Big thing in my life today, actually. I beat my record for holding my breath.
Ooh.
Oh, I thought you beat your meat. This is going in a completely
Did
different
you beat your knife game record too?
Yeah. So me and Ryan were seeing who could hold our breath the longest.
we just talking
and
about
I
good-
made it about 2 minutes
Yeah,
and 20
cool.
seconds, and then I almost passed out.
then he was
I am
purple.
weak.
All right, Ryan, anything you
Ryan,
got?
anything interesting?
He lost the breathing contest.
I was
That's
cheating
interesting.
the entire time.
Yeah.
Do you breathe it through your nose? Do you do what I do and breathe
That
through
was,
your nose?
I was doing it good for the first like minute and a half, and I was like, why am I bothering with this?
Do you guys
It's
remember?
fun.
Do you guys remember that episode of Friends where like Joey and Phoebe were like
Oh
playing
my
that
God.
game, and Joey was cheating because he was breathing through his nose, and just like Chandler plugs his nose. He's like, "You could have killed me." He was doing it for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
He was like, "Damn, he's good."
Plugs nose.
I don't think I've ever seen Friends.
It's okay.
I'm
I
not the
haven't
biggest.
either.
Yeah. See,
We have to talk to both of you about
We
Friends.
need
I
to
think
have an
next time
intervention.
You
we're
need to
gonna
talk
play
to
Friends
us
on that
about
TV.
Friends.
do you have any more burgers?
You guys
I
need Friends.
told you that for
I think so.
Clearly,
You.
that bag is still kind of weird to pick up.
Throw
Alright.
me a burger too.
We brought
Wait, how
food
many
for the
burgers
first
do you
time ever.
have?
Want one?
Yeah.
We bought.
They bought
We
like
bought
10.
food for the first time ever,
Oh, that's gonna sound
so we can all survive another week. Speaking of that, we're kind of running low on money, and we need another microphone and more food and some more people. So if
Am
you
I
want
setting
to,
up a Patreon?
if you want to get free content, then please pay for that free content through Patreon or Kickstarter.
I beg of you.
I
I
guess
need
I'm
my-
making a Patreon
I
then?
beg of you. I need my weekly rations, which I don't get unless
Oh my
I
God,
make
have
this
you-
Are
YouTube
we
have
video.
having any money?
Have
left?
you
I
had
need my
Anthony
Szechuan
Rashid?
sauce, Morty.
Okay, so you guys know Anthony S.
Anthony,
Yeah, Samarico.
Samarico.
Oh my god.
I know his sister. His sister.
He makes the best what we call rations. So, you know Chex Mix? They put Chex Mix in like this garlicky, buttery solution and let it dry.
Oh,
It is
it's godly.
It's Italy in your mouth. Like picture Italy if it was a flavor in your mouth.
Any more?
The Leaning Tower of
one.
Pisa on your tongue.
It's delicious.
Meatball. The spicy meatball.
Dropped my condom for my name.
I dropped my dong for my Magnum condom.
Anyway, do we have any actual topics?
No, but we were gonna go.
We have to go. Okay,
yes.
wait.
Oh, wait,
Well, we
I
need
never
to tell
got the
her
story.
good news, and then the two of us have news from the week.
Well, I don't
probably.
necessarily have good or bad news. I just have some things I've been thinking about lately.
Oh,
I
boy.
said some thoughts I want to share with
Hannah's
the world.
philosophy corner.
Yes.
We got Chloe
Chloe
next.
first.
Chloe, you got anything you did this
Get an
week?
actual segment like that of Hannah's philosophy corner.
I'm going to now.
Hold on. I'm sorry.
Okay, dead air for a second. Give her time to swallow.
Let's just.
She has a very, very big load in her mouth. She needs
So
time to
today's
process.
today's Tuesday.
Dude, Chris is gonna beat
The morning announcements today, they had it written down, and I just read what I have in front of me, and it said Monday, and I'm like, today's not Monday, but I'll go for
I'll
it.
go for
it. I
Wait,
was
today?
like,
I
yeah, I was like, Will, you messed up, but sure.
Is it one of them days where
Damn it,
Mr.
Will.
Fisher reaches over, like, while you're recording and gives you a segment you need to, like, talk about Mr. Fisher?
I love how Mr. Summer today was like, don't worry, boys. If you didn't have enough money, I didn't even have a limo for my wedding. I just had family
I
drive
know.
us.
I literally turned to Dylan Normand. I'm sorry.
No,
I
we
swear
didn't
to
even
God,
have
it
it.
looked
We didn't
so
even
much-
have it scripted for Mr. Summer to talk today.
He
And
was
then he walks in,
came
he's like, I need a couple minutes at the end of morning announcements.
It's so funny because it looked like he just kept looking off camera, like Mr. Fisher was there, like,
Talk about the lumberjack
teams! Talk about the
he
lumberjack
kept,
teams!
he kept looking at, like, the teenagers in the room, like, is this okay? Am I good on
Are you okay
time?
with this?
To, like, Will and Duncan and everyone, like...
I mean, does it matter? Are you guys like time?
I was like, we're not time limited. We're not limited on time at
Hold on.
all.
Honestly,
Like, we could
I
literally,
love it when
I
the
could
morning
miss all of
announcements-
first period and my teacher can't do anything because I'm there for the day.
Why
Can
don't you?
Because the sign-in goes for the entire...
Can I ask you, why are the cameras for morning announcements so crappy?
Well, what's wrong with the TV?
Because it's a webcam.
Oh, they're so
Yeah.
Oh.
What? Why are you using a webcam?
They use a webcam.
I can give you a better camera.
And a camera
I bought the
and
school
a,
an
and a
actual
computer
camera,
that
what you
and a
guys use.
computer that can't handle the software that we use.
So basically,
So half the
everything
time
you're
the
doing is
teleprompter
wrong.
doesn't work.
Everything
Well,
you're
because
doing
we're
is
not the
wrong.
ones that are programming it as like 21st century communications.
Ask the
It's the
computer
telecommunications club.
Ask the computer,
So
because we
Will,
can build
Sam,
you a computer
Duncan,
for like nothing.
Evan,
Yeah, you
Mr.
gotta talk to like people
Capalupo.
like Sam and Will.
Yeah, you need to get past like Sam. You
So-
need to get past. Never mind, not Sam. You need to get past Will
Yeah.
because
Will?
he
Talk to Dakota.
loves his computers.
Dakota.
Our Will.
Yeah. Wait, Will.
Will.
We sat with him in lunch
Will.
last year.
Will.
Will
Yeah.
E?
Will, the one that everybody wanted to kill during the musical
Yeah.
because he wasn't letting Mike Check go through all the way.
He broke
Yeah,
the
him.
soundboard.
Look at that.
Wait,
Yeah,
he
him.
did? He literally
Yeah.
broke the
Oh
soundboard.
my god,
Yeah.
Will, you need to stop.
Come on, Will.
Will.
You know, last week with morning announcements, apparently one of the kids that usually shows up, that was usually showing up like a minute before the bell rang, showed up, and Capalupo's like, well, it's too late now. Will's already sitting there. He's like, well, Will can just stand up and walk away. And Will's like, no, I was already here, so I'm going to do morning announcements. I'm like,
I'm gonna be on it.
Bro,
Why
this
is
is
Will
why-
a
Why
sassy
did-
white chick?
I asked
When
the kid.
wasn't he? This is why he doesn't have a
And
girlfriend.
I was like,
He has
dude,
one.
I
Had
told,
one.
I told the kid that was mad about Will sitting there. I'm like, dude, you're like 6'2", and
punch
he's
the
a
kid.
stick. Just pick him up by the shirt and place him outside of the rescue window. He's like, I
He's
can't.
a nice guy.
But he goes,
Wait,
but
no.
I can't do that. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. You're a freaking teddy bear.
Wait, Will.
He is.
He's
We-
like, but I am. I'm lovable.
He,
I'm like,
he and
yeah.
I were at
Nicky.
this one party over the summer, and he
Will.
was so nice.
Who? Say G.
I can blur it out.
I don't know. I just know Will.
Here, watch this.
Oh my god,
just a
stop!
That's just a long beat. Oh, right,
Chloe's
Chloe.
news of the week.
She was dead air for
And then
a
we have
little bit.
Hannah's fun.
Wait,
we need an
philosophy
actual
corner.
segment.
First. We may have raped a girl today.
No, we didn't.
Does,
we didn't.
Does tickling constitute as rape?
No.
Depends.
Only if I don't want it.
She did.
Tickling, nobody ever wants to be tickled. It just happens.
So, you know Kyle?
Depends.
Yes.
Kyle.
Yes.
We held his sister down and tickled her for like 2 minutes straight.
Is
Why
she hot?
though?
That's
Because she was like spreading lotion on all of us.
What?
Don't you have a girlfriend?
Weird situation, I know.
Yeah, but
Where was she in this situation?
That's a
She's
little
fine with it.
open-ended.
No, she's fine with it. Come on, have you met his girlfriend?
Love you,
Yes,
baby.
I have.
Yes,
Fine
I'm
with
cool
it.
with
She's
that.
fine with it.
That's sweet.
And I
Suck
love
up.
it. I love her to death, but sometimes she's so weird.
Sometimes she's a little dense.
Sometimes she's out there.
Sometimes everybody's a little dense.
Yeah.
Like,
During square dancing, all these two were doing was grabbing each other at the
Never. She was grabbing me.
I never raped my girlfriend. She raped me.
She did.
have you guys ever seen?
She did grab at him more than he grabbed at her.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
like
I
he
noticed.
grabbed maybe 3
I
times,
don't know.
and
I
then
was
she was
focused
like,
on my own stuff.
huh, and then I'm like, could you stop? I was
Will you
like,
stop?
could you, girl? I
Let's
understand.
go.
You
Girl,
love
please.
it, but this is school time. Let's save it for
This
bedtime.
is school time right now.
let's save it for bedtime.
So, okay.
Cheers to that. Oh God. Oh, flakes pop everywhere.
It's so Chloe. So Chloe.
Chloe's news of the week.
Guys, the verify button won't work.
I mean, I didn't really do anything, but I drew, and that's it.
Woo! What'd you draw about?
Draw a lot.
What?
What'd you draw about?
What did you draw
I noticed
about?
this morning that Chloe added me on
Oh,
Snapchat, and I
hold
went,
on.
"What? Okay, this is fine."
Why do I
And
feel
then
like
added
Chloe
her
just
back.
gets high all the time,
Yeah.
and then just like sometimes she's like, "I'll draw a butterfly."
I feel
That's
like
how our
And then
logo
she
came about.
cleans up, and she's like, "This needs to be gory."
It needs to be
she sobers up like, huh? Less blood than I thought.
I thought you were going to talk about.
Less
I
blood
thought you
than
were
I
going to say like.
intended.
Why do I get the feeling that she was like, "Oh, I have Blake's podcast today."
Gonna need this later.
Does it on the post.
What are you
Okay,
like?
wait.
Can I have?
What are you
Hannah's
doing back
Philosophy
there?
Corner.
Need
Oh,
some?
It's time for Hannah's corner.
Oh
of
wait.
news.
I had a genuine question about
What?
what she was saying. Are you getting very, very done with the logo for the thing?
Well, I know that I said that I would start it like a
Remember I said I would start it?
I haven't started it. I haven't
Hold on.
finished it, but I also haven't started
It's not
it.
finished, but I
Alright.
have done the outlining of it. I just need a color, and that's it. And I
Okay.
need to Photoshop it into a transparent background.
I did that to my middle school art teacher. She's like, "So, how's that project going?" And I told her, "It's not in a state that I would appreciate turning it in."
Me too.
She's like,
I always
"Did
got
you start it
extensions.
yet?" And I said,
This
"That's
Hannah
debatable."
knows. Hannah knows. In middle school, I was getting extensions on everything because I'm like, it's not in a state in which I feel it would be complete enough to hand into you
Exactly.
for a good grade.
I don't remember that at all.
Mrs. DeSico. Okay, then Cody knows. Anyway,
Cody
Yeah, you
knows.
sat right in front of him.
DeSico, my like 8th grade teacher, she would go, "Okay, you can have a couple more days on it," and then a week later she'd go, "So Nicole, how's that coming?" And I'm like, almost done. I'd hand it in to her a month after it was supposed to be due, and she'd still give me full credit for it.
Honestly,
I remember this. I remember the one project we did. We had to do with our names, and I misunderstood the directions, and I thought we had to make this big poster board, and it turns out we had to make this like little normal
Little
size sheet of
postcard.
paper, normal size sheet of paper, and I
It
was
showed how narcissistic Hannah was. We all were
Everyone
like,
had a
"Hannah's
piece of
the new
paper.
narcissist."
Everybody
like,
else
she
had an
still
index
has
card.
the poster.
She does.
Everybody else had an
Turn it-
index
turn it
And then
in
there
next
was-
time.
Hannah's
And then
because
there
she's
was,
yelling
and then
about
there
a
was
poster.
the Diary of Anne Frank debacle of first period,
Oh my
where
God, no.
that started the like 3-year ship of Hannah with one of our classmates.
No, he has not spoken to me in like 3 years.
2
Okay.
years technically
Harris?
because of the sophomore.
I have a
sophomore,
question.
Um,
So sometimes
Don't-
teachers let you bring in a cheat sheet, right?
yes.
They say you can only have one note card full of cheat sheet stuff.
Okay.
wonder where this.
What?
And it has to be like one of those little index cards.
They
You can
just
fill
say
it
you
in
need
front
a note
and
You
back.
card.
need a note card. I've
What
brought in
what
like
constitutes a note card?
Made out of card.
Made out of cardboard. So one of those really thick pieces of poster paper, technically cardstock.
True.
So is a poster board technically one card of cheat sheet?
But do you think a teacher's really gonna let you bring that in? I think what they mean is like a 9x11.
I
yeah,
think-
but
that's
can
what
we
they
talk about
mean.
I
can
think
we
so.
talk
Never
about
say
how
it.
teachers need to specify it because even in colleges, students are like, okay, I can have one like cheat sheet 3x4,
Yeah.
and they only say 3x4. or like 3 by 9, and they're like, I should have constituted that it was like 3 inches by 9 inches, and this kid brought in a 3 foot by 9 foot cheat sheet with the entire year's work on it.
I have met teachers who would appreciate the smart enough to let me cheat on that test.
You know what? Here's what I do. I would just break everybody's minds by going another dimension in the paper. Oh god. 3 by 9 by 17. Ha! Take that.
Last weekend I spent about 3 days writing college admission essays.
Oh.
Yes.
Bane of my existence right there.
That sucks.
The weird thing is, I am taking a year off.
Why do you do this to yourself?
Because my parents are on my ass about college applications and whatnot, and
very true.
They expect me, along with the rest of society, to have all the answers to what I want to do with my life, where am I going to school, and etc., etc., etc.
That English teacher today asked me what I'm doing after high school, and I'm like, taking like 2 years of creative writing and then 2 years of film, and I still don't know what I'm doing with my life after that.
Let me tell you something. When we were doing those sheets where you fill out everything, I was in my math class, and the math teacher was like, alright guys, before you say you don't need more math credits because all you need is 3, I want you to know that my son, and she went a whole spiel about her son, like, failing. I have Miss Selner. Literally, she went on
the same speech!
A whole thing about her son and how he went on ahead and he, like, needed a science credit, and it turns out because he didn't take a science, that he failed, like, his entire life, but he somehow became, like, a really, really good, golf lawn maintenance guy. Like, he's a manager of, like, a golf meet. I'll admit.
My brother's a garbage man, but he makes more money than my mom does working for a car insurance company.
No, let me
finish.
They
actually call him a garbage man.
Let me finish this.
Because he works in the rich area.
Garbage man.
I went up. I was the first one up because I got B as both initials.
Yeah,
I go up, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to take math next year. She's like, but, you know, Blake, what are you going to do with your life? I'm like,
what do you want to do with your life?
My math teacher last year did that to me. He goes, "What are you gonna do with your life?" Because I didn't want to take a math this year, and he goes, "You should really take a math this year. You need your 3rd math credit." I'm like, "But I already have 4."
Oh yeah, I'm getting 3 math credits for my BOCES. I'm getting 3 credits for my BOCES: 1 English, 1 math, and 1 science. Right?
I have 4
because you literally don't.
But I have
more than you need.
Yeah, you need history.
Yeah, I need.
I'm ending the school year with 5 math credits because Intro to Computer Programming my sophomore year counted as a math credit for me.
Oh,
it did.
Let me tell you something.
I got her to count. I got them to count it for me.
Tell it to me, Blake.
I went to my guidance counselor like, hey, I want this credit. Like, you don't need it. Goodbye.
I was there.
I said that when I was a senior. I didn't want to.
So like, okay, I can guarantee. I understand what you're talking about, like how at this point everybody expects you to know exactly what you're doing at the exact moment you leave school. And I'm like, I don't know what I want to do tomorrow.
I don't know what I'm having for dinner tonight.
Blake made dramatic pause.
Okay, Blake.
Okay, so a bunch of about Zellner. So what she literally went on ahead and did was she told me, Blake, what are you gonna do with your life? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, what are you gonna do? What college are you going to? I'm like, Villa Maria. She's like, do you know what you're gonna take there? What courses you're gonna take? Who's gonna be your teacher? Literally asking me questions that you would not know unless you already went to college.
Are you absolutely positive you're gonna go to Villa Maria?
I'm absolutely.
That's
Stop asking me these questions. I don't give a d. I literally. She asked me questions and I started breaking out in a cold sweat because I didn't know the answers, so I was just making up.
Exactly. This is what I'm talking about. Our society is expecting us as 17 and 18-year-olds to
basically
know everything, to know the rest of our lives.
You're not even done being an 18
It's because
like a teenager.
we're not in medieval times anymore, where like us women are already mothers of like 5 by the time we're 17.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, they're asking us, you know, now that you have like all this privilege,
I'm gonna be a liberal arts major.
What are you gonna do?
That's major again.
Hi. I told Jared to go to a liberal arts college, and he goes, "I don't want to major in liberal arts." I'm like,
I don't want to
dude,
be a
they
liberal.
have
Anything
computer
with a liberal arts
science
degree.
in liberal arts
You
colleges.
can do anything with a liberal arts degree.
Oh,
You
hi.
can.
Hi, welcome to McDonald's. I'm a liberal arts major.
Shut up.
Mr. Fazer.
No, okay. Yeah. The thing is like it's aggravating because like they're like, no, you can't do this, and that because we don't trust you. But
we don't trust you enough.
Create the rest of your life goals at this exact moment before you leave school.
And I've mentioned this to friends in the past. I think that after high school, we should, for at least maybe 3 years, maybe 4, have like a life school where they teach us things like how
They
to
do
be
in
an
Sweden.
adult.
Yeah, there's
Or
in
like,
Norway.
they should teach
Like,
us how to
teach
do
us life
laundry
things
and how to
during
work
school.
taxes
Why?
and all
No,
that
there's a
stuff.
class for that.
Denmark
Wait.
or Sweden.
Yeah,
or something.
there's.
class is
Wait.
I think it's like things in our life.
Oh, yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
For
yeah.
it's
our school?
Yeah, in our school, like in
Oh,
high
yeah.
school.
In
Way of,
our
school.
Stupid.
But it shouldn't be like a.
Nobody
It's
wants to
very
take it
obscure.
Wait,
because
but
it's
stop.
Pretty sure it's like
In
AP,
our school,
AP facts.
why is it that living on your own, parenting, home ec, and things you actually need that are going to be relevant to your life,
Or, like,
why are
select
these
classes.
electives
Yeah,
and not
the
mandatory
electives.
classes?
because there's no
they'd rather
credits for
focus
it.
on they'd rather focus on building up building up an academic student
Yeah.
that can go into society and live more for the economy than themselves.
But that's stupid.
Literally the point of
They're
school.
building
that's,
students,
like,
not teaching
that's
students.
no,
It's an
the whole
assembly
point of the
line
modern
of
world
people.
now.
It's an
who-
assembly line of okay. So like when my brother was in elementary school, his 6th grade teacher, she might have to, his 6th grade teacher called my mother into the school. They had to do a retelling of a fairy tale, and his teacher didn't like how my brother wrote it. So they said, your son either has to do it to my expectations or he's being suspended. And he fails the 6th grade. And she's like,
The stupid.
oh, what? And then school literally beat the creativity out of my brother and slammed him into
Legit,
this
every
tiny
school-
little ring box.
Yep, you can't
Every
be. You can't
school,
create. You're
Like,
built.
eliminates
Every school.
creativity.
But then there's always those 2 or 3 teachers in the high schools, like we have Mr. Gald and Mr. Zayats, who are like, come out of the box.
Half an hour.
But yeah, okay. So the way I see it is, there are very, very few outlets in modern day high school to get creativity because it is just some assembly line to create like an economic soldier. I
Yeah,
guess
and the
is
only
a- is a good way
time,
to put it.
time you can actually get like really creative with any work is once you're a senior and all of that academic stuff has already been beaten into you and the creativity's been
All
beaten,
right.
beaten
You know,
out of you.
Exactly. But then the
21st
next
century
year-
communications can only be taken by seniors.
Then the next year,
Can I
then
finish
the
my
exact
story?
next year, you get out of that because if you try to go into like a creative life or a creative like
Field, it's
field,
not gonna work.
You're gonna get the criticisms. You're gonna get you can't do that. You're not gonna make money. You can't do that. You're gonna get out of money. And like it's like I don't care about money.
Blake's trying to finish his story.
You'll get-
I just
Yeah, we keep interrupting.
the story that literally took 15 minutes to tell. Okay, so
Edit that out.
Nice.
It's a great transition back into Blake's story though.
it's a giant
We
bleep.
need to just keep like a nice cut of that burp to transition into each
Your
topic.
body's rejecting the notion of hearing Blake talk.
Blake talking something.
All right, Blake, finish the story.
Okay, so some about Miss Zellner telling me what I'm gonna do in my life, literally asking me questions. She's asking me like what kind of credits I'm gonna get, how I'm gonna get those credits, what I'm gonna do after I get those credits, how am I gonna go and support myself and living with like 3 kids and a wife. Like I don't know, how am I even gonna get a wife? Like have you
How many
seen?
kids do you
Why
want?
do I
Who are you
need
gonna marry?
to look
I'm Blake.
20 years into
Where do
my
you wanna go?
future
Where do you
at
wanna get
17
married?
years old?
What are your place settings gonna look like?
Where are you gonna live? What's your
What kind
address?
of China are you going to pick out?
What color's your living room wall, Blake?
Are there accent walls in any of the bedrooms?
What fork
Do
are you
your
gonna use to
children
get the
have
salad?
cable?
How big of a TV does your great grandchild want
Did
for
you
his
mow
birthday?
your lawn?
How many PlayStations are in your house? Do you have a house, an apartment, a mansion, a tiny house, a trailer?
A shack,
Nothing?
a cardboard box? What are you? You can't live on your own. I'm like, Jesus.
And you know what the best
Zellner.
part about this is? She probably doesn't know what that college is.
No, here's the best thing, because once I said I'm a director, she started questioning me on how I'm gonna
What kind
apply
of movies are you gonna make?
on how am I gonna apply math to directing film. I'm like,
One donut plus 2 donuts equals full me.
No.
One donut-
The only
one
thing
donut for
relevant
free.
from
Equals good
math to
calculating
go
frames.
into directing is you need to know at least some basic geometry, especially with angles for cameras,
Angles for cameras and frame rates.
Yes.
as well as lighting.
And yeah,
Make sure
you
you
just need to know
do-
your time.
yeah.
Yeah, you
I
should.
mean, even then, it's not really math. More as like a creative, like
More as if I'm a
it's more
director,
what
I
they're
can just
doing.
hire somebody to do that shit for
So
me.
It's more just
if you're a
applied
director
science
and you get
than
hired
math.
onto a movie, it's literally just basic eyeballing and whatever the producer kind of goes, good enough.
math as we know it is kind of
Let me finish this though.
Algebra.
We're not
Really
gonna have a
quick.
calculator with us every day.
Useless.
we are.
Guys,
No.
you
You're not
keep
gonna
interrupting Blake.
Really quick, I'm gonna finish this. All right.
All right, hurry up.
So after that, I'm like, I just don't want to take another math. She's like, you're gonna take another math. I'm like, no, I don't want to take another math. She's like, you're gonna take another math.
When you go
Signs
in
me
for-
on
no.
for senior math topics. I'm like,
I'm in it right now.
Like-
You can get through it in like 5 minutes. I'm
Okay,
telling you. I already
so-
finished.
no, I
drafted
just
it
don't
one
want
right now.
another math.
That's the
But
reason
anyways.
I've taken 4 years of Spanish, because I hate Spanish. But every teacher's like, "Oh, you were really good in this
You know what
class.
you
I
can
liked
do?
you as a person."
You know what you should be
Spanish.
doing though? When you go in for scheduling, just tell your counselor, yeah, I really just don't want this.
That's
I
what I'm
did.
gonna tell them.
I
Who were
did
you-
my
who you have
freshman
as
year,
your
and they're like,
what?
"You know what?
I used
Take
to have
it.
a teacher
Cut
that
your
literally
pen."
told my mother to
And
drop
that's
out.
why I took Spanish.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a fun story, but I think I'm gonna tell that next time.
What what counselor do you have for?
The counselor
your
that
schedule?
supported my mother, I forgot her name.
No,
It was
what's
like-
the counselor for your
The
grade?
counselor
Like,
my mom had. Well, that goes pretty far back. But I did.
junior counselors.
Right.
Damn it, Mark.
Ryan.
Mark, what?
Yeah, I think
Right.
What counselor do you have?
Right.
Mrs.
Right.
Wright. Okay.
Yeah, I have right.
Mrs. Wright, if you tell her, I really
Jesus.
don't want to be in this, my teacher's trying to force me into it, I have the credits, I don't need it, and you bring up a good enough reason, she'll take you out of it.
Or
I wish juniors had Mrs. John, because if you go, I really don't feel like I need this, because I told her that about me going into Algebra 2 for senior year. I was like,
no,
I really
you
don't
would've
feel like
died.
I need
Oh my
this,
God,
and
it's the
plus
dumbest
math my
class.
strong suit. And she
Okay.
goes, okay, so we're going for a Regents
Okay.
diploma then, and cut Algebra 2 out of it.
Tell the story.
Oh my God! If we want to talk about how absolutely horrid the people at our school, like the guidance counselors.
You know, I never got to tell my news of the week, but that's great.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Sorry.
continue your story,
Here's the
actually.
thing. Okay, we have this lady that I simply call Giles, even though her name is Giles.
Yeah,
retired.
that's
She-
the counselor
she did
that
not
my
get me
mother told to
started on
drop
her.
out.
Exactly.
not get me
As
started
you
on
can
her.
as you can see from the group
From the backlash.
backlash here.
Backlash here.
Oh,
She's not very liked. I went in and I swear to God, for like 7 months straight last year, I was sick. But throughout that entire time, I was arguing with her. Let me go to BOCES. Nah, why not? You're too smart. No, you don't understand. I
you
want to
could
go to
find yourself
BOCES. This is my future I'm talking about here.
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna sign you up for this
She-
class, right? No, you're gonna sign me up for BOCES. Okay, BOCES.
Bo C.
Algebra 2?
I
Alright.
spent the
Oh,
first
C,
2
E,
years
S.
of high school with
Pre-calc?
with a
Okay.
counselor that retired after my sophomore year, and then I got Mrs. John. And don't get me wrong, she's a sweetheart, but I wanted Mrs. DeMarchis still.
Oh yeah.
Because she had my brother for her counseling and everything, and she had family members of mine. I trusted her. And she retired, and then Mrs. Giles, while I was in my review for junior year, walked in and she goes, so what's this little lady want to do when she goes to college? And Mrs. John's like, oh, she's going to pursue film. And she goes, huh, you're going nowhere then. I'm like, well then, I literally...
Which is why she got.
I stood up.
Retire.
No,
Yeah.
I stood up, looked
Yeah.
her dead in the eyes as Mr. Fisher was walking by, and I went,
Oh, burn!
and the principal just looks in and he goes, is everything okay in here? And Mrs. Giles' eyes are watering. I'm like, everything will be
You
fine
mean
when
her
she's...
eye?
I.
her
Giles?
eyes
Is
fluttering.
this
No,
Giles?
she-
Yes.
Yeah,
Giles.
and she's like about
Giles,
to
but I hate Giles.
cry.
Heels.
She was about to cry, and Mr. Fisher goes, is everything okay in here? I'm like, everything will be fine as soon as she leaves the office and I can finish my student review.
Let me
I don't-
tell
okay.
you.
And he escorted her out of
Okay.
the room and took her back to her office. He's like, you need to go, but she's in a student review. You can't be in here.
Miss Giles is almost the reason why I'm in the situation I am in right now with my entire family. My mother, when she was 16, was in sophomore class, and she went. My mother was just talking with Miss Giles because my mother had problems when she was my age,
Oh,
right?
by the way, she's like 80.
Miss Giles. Yeah, Miss Giles.
Giles is old.
She's a.
Oh, she's old as hell.
Come
Oh,
back.
I don't care.
Cut that, yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, go on and cut that. Look,
I cut-
Miss
I
Giles
cut
literally
Tate's
went on ahead and told my mother.
Dude, I
You
haven't
should-
talked to Sam in forever, and she just asked me this.
again.
Okay, guys, you're interrupting
Go
Blake
on,
again.
go on.
Miss Giles told my mother, "Hey, you should just go ahead and drop out. After all, you're not fit for." And my mother,
guidance counselor.
literally had my mother's the papers to drop out. My mother signed the papers, and now my mother is now
worse.
living in because she couldn't get a good job.
Wow.
She could not graduate high school. She does not have a GED.
Yeah, she
She is
the
living in
worst
Niagara Falls
teacher.
with 3 kids.
I'm gonna tell you something that like might be controversial, but she had a calendar
Yes.
in her.
Okay, be
in her
quiet.
room.
I actually want to hear this now. So
She had a
nobody talk.
calendar in her room that like she kind of hid in her drawer, kind of, but it was on her desk, and it was one of those however many days without incidents calendar. And I'm like, what kind of incidents? I once asked her, I was like, what kind of incidents are we talking? She was like, oh, don't worry about that. So anyway, this was while I was arguing with her about going to Bosie's. And it was just like, don't worry about that. So anyway, we were staying here, right? I was like, I see now. I was like, are these incidents perhaps like arguments you have with your students? And she was like, whatever do you mean, Ryan? I was like, ha ha ha.
Nothing. I guess I won't go to Bosie's.
And it was on 5. It was only on 5 days. So I was sitting there and it was just like,
You should have seen her calendar for that from my sophomore year.
she counted
counted my little like argument with her of me telling her off as an incident. So somebody walked in, and I think it was Mr. Cluster, and he's walking through the guidance office. He's like, "And we're back down to 0 from 17. We were doing so well."
I swear to God, she's never gotten above 20.
Why is she
No,
not
her record
fired?
is 43.
She retired.
43
She
days.
retired.
Thank God, she's such a bad I'm so happy I have Miss Wright. She's so nice. My mother had her 9th grade year.
She's a nice person.
My mother was
And
like, you
Mr.
have Miss
Garrett.
Wright?
He barely knows me, and he wrote a letter of recommendation for me to switch
Oh,
to
yeah, sure,
psychologist.
whatever.
Talking about Derek?
Yeah, he's like,
yeah,
I
you
barely.
wrote me a really good letter.
Well,
Holy
I
crap.
told him, he goes, would you like to review it after? And I'm like, I kind of took an oath to my colleges that I wouldn't review any letters so I couldn't have any influence on
I
my
didn't.
teachers. And he goes, okay, that's fine. And then he's like, so I won't tell you that you're this, 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 and this on your letter of recommendation. And I'm like, I won't say anything if you don't. And then I walked out of the office.
Oh.
Mr. Gall did that too.
Fun fact for you. Okay, so first couple of weeks of school, I walk into the guidance office to get a copy of my transcript or something.
What are we doing this to?
And I look down at my transcript and I see that I am 4th out of 248 students in my class, and I think, oh wow, that's cool. A couple days ago, I walk into guidance to get the letter from Derek. I'm walking back to my class with the letter in my hand, and I'm kind of glancing at it, and it says she is ranked 3rd in her class out of 248, and I'm like, wait, what?
Oh, yeah, because the final rankings are coming out.
I'm like, wait, what? I moved up a spot?
Holy
Who dropped out?
It's either who dropped out or who went from
Okay.
3rd to 65th. Because
Nikki-
that happened to our 3rd
Nikki
in
never
class
got
last
to her
year.
day, and we
Oh.
didn't even get to the topic. So, Nikki, get to your day.
You're right.
Wait, first, do you want to do your philosophy moment? Because I think you have to leave.
She already had her philosophy
Yeah,
moment.
we did. And I
Yeah,
got
that
another
was
20
that.
minutes.
That was
I'm
the
good.
philosophy?
All right.
Yeah, future school, blah blah blah.
Right.
Blah, blah,
Nikki.
blah, blah.
Half
You
of our
did.
podcast
Okay,
was your philosophy
So,
moment. There you go.
So, my week so far, because it's only, like, what, Tuesday?
Tuesday.
I mean,
Is-
Monday technically. We had yesterday off.
I mean, whatever. Feels like a Monday. So,
It
my
is
week
Monday. It
so
is
far has been my editor for the book that I am writing going, 11 o'clock at night? You should be writing. No, I should be sleeping.
Seems like a perfect time
He's
to
like,
call you.
I was like, no, I should be sleeping. And then he video calls me, and he goes, no, you should
It's
be,
time to write.
you should be writing. And I'm like,
I want to see you
But-
writing over this video call
but-
right now.
and I'm like on my phone,
He's
and my
like, "Got a
computer's
key."
in front of me. He goes, I know your computer is near you.
He's got like a
It's
white heater on.
on your computer.
smell it.
I know your computer is nearby.
Never
Get on
mind.
your computer right now
I
because he can watch over if I'm typing on Scrivener or not. So as soon as like I started typing, he got the message on his computer and I heard it and he goes, "That's better. I'll see you in the morning." Bye.
Very
And I went, "I will kill you."
I can smell your fingertips.
I can smell the computer.
I can smell
He
your
is,
Never
he
mind,
is
that's
so
just cake.
nice, but at the same time, he is so
It's just
critical.
potatoes.
Okay, I guess next topic. Chloe, since you're a special guest, Blake, ask Chloe some delicious questions.
Oh, yeah. This is fun.
Awesome.
We're not going to talk about yandere.
Are you a yandere?
Are you a tsundere?
Okay. Are you a tsundere?
Are you an otaku?
Are you a Japanese?
I am a weeaboo.
I'm a human.
Are you a gay like our Bud West?
Oh my god.
Why?
Nope.
Edit that out.
That proves it. She said why. She would have said yeah if she meant anything by. All right. So, Rice Gum. How do we feel about Rice Gum?
Who?
Rice gum.
Rice
Is
gum.
This rice
Oh,
flavor.
I've
dude.
heard of that.
Nobody knows what Rice Gum
I've
is.
heard about
I wanna
like
be
stupid
gay,
things on
'cause
YouTube about that, but I don't really.
Someone
about
explain
them,
to
but
me
I
this,
don't
'cause
know.
Oh, him.
Rice Gum is a YouTuber who's like Jake Paul,
Oh,
but
boy.
Can we count him as
way
well?
stupider because he thinks that he
He's
can
more
act.
special.
And
I
You
may
know
have
what?
told her, I may have made fun of her for being raped as a kid, but you know.
yeah, he made fun of a girl for being raped.
Wow.
On
Yeah.
a live stream.
On a
He
live
filmed-
stream.
He filmed girls.
Wow. Okay,
like,
he's officially the worst person to exist.
showing them. I
He
think it was
said
that
the
he filmed girls showing him their underwear on live stream without them knowing.
He filmed himself, and he was saying an apology to the girl who got raped. And he acted like, I'm sorry, I just can't get a kiss from a girl. And he started like crying, and it was the worst acting
He
ever.
cuts away and
And
like,
then,
how'd I do?
No, and then the girl kisses him to try to like
He writes the
make him,
script.
and he's like,
By the way.
he's like
And then
all
he gets-
happy.
Okay, and then he has her because you got to remember this. He's clearly scripting this.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
scripts
A
her.
lot of
I thought
to
this was
go
like an actual
into-
thing.
No, it was supposed to be, but he scripts her going on to his personal stripper pole as he shoots her with the money gun.
I take the money.
What the
Honestly.
hell is this world coming
See,
to?
I wouldn't
Rice
take.
Gum.
I
And
wouldn't
films
take
it.
money
Films
to
it all.
suck off
This is why
Trump,
Content Cop needs to exist. This is
Yes.
why
That's why it
we-
does.
Yes.
This is why Content
Where,
Cop
though?
already covered
know.
Rice Gum, and
I
we're
know.
happy about
Yeah.
this.
Oh, content.
He also made a rap video to
be gay.
combat Rice
I
Gum.
wanna save her.
It's
But
great.
it's cool.
Paladins.
After smashing you, I'll PayPal you 2K.
Do we know what Paladins is?
No.
Paladins Overwatch ripoff?
Pretty much.
Oh yes.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm not as familiar with like
Those
Video
video
games.
play.
Like
Nerds. Okay,
so-
basically, okay.
We
you know
need
what
Jared
Overwatch
for that
is?
kind of
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a video
you're right.
game.
Best.
That'll be
Sure.
covered for Valentine's Day.
All right, Chloe, what's an art project you're working on now?
Well, currently your guys' logo,
Okay.
Okay.
but I was thinking of like, I don't know, drawing something.
Ooh.
Wow, almost like that's hard.
On paper
Well, I
or
have
on
a question. I have a
Illustrator?
question. Okay, so you're a junior currently, correct?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay, are you thinking about next year putting in a design for your class's time capsule locker?
I would love to do
You
that.
should do it.
You do
I
it.
wanted
You
to.
do it.
Awesome,
I've
yeah.
seen your. You're
You
good.
and yes.
Yes. You and Riley
Oh
would be
my
an awesome
God.
Dude,
class.
we would be like,
You would wreck that locker.
what's a good
Oh my God, I
team?
didn't tell
What's a
her
good
that.
like?
Scooby Doo and
What a
Shaggy.
good meme.
Yeah.
Maddie and August would
We'd be
team up.
Scooby-Doo.
Like-
Sam and Dean from
Oh.
Supernatural.
We'd be like,
Oh, yes.
If we can go,
Supernatural
like, from,
Scooby Doo
like, we have
crossover.
sci-fi
No,
class,
that doesn't exist.
Not
yet.
language class, we can go into.
Teen
But for us,
Titans. Nikki.
I
Teen
feel,
Titans,
go movie.
I feel like this is like the
the
exact same
sports
topic
and
as
the
last
music
yesterday.
up
It is,
into
but we
the
have more
English
people, so I'm gonna go
No.
in
Fair
there.
enough.
having art
Guys.
like that would be great.
Teen Titans go to the movies.
Yeah.
Dear God.
Yeah. Teen
Butch
Titans
Hartman
go.
has like I think 2 videos
Yes.
up on his channel
He's
about
got a
it,
bit-
and I haven't watched it because it had Teen Titans Go in it, and I'm like, nope.
Freaking out. I hate it. I absolutely despise.
I saw a
Ryan said too much
reaction
sugar.
video, and he was very calm about it, like he is.
Yes,
And
he does.
he basically said it looked like an episode of Teen Titans Go, and
Just an hour and a half long.
Okay,
Yeah.
guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Guys.
Oh, gross.
They spent. What? They spent like a full minute in the trailer on a fart joke.
yes, that's exactly what
Full minute.
A full minute.
I
Yes,
think
but can
Teen
we
Titans
remember
Go.
this is also kind of centered towards like first 7 to 8-year-old boys.
Yes. Okay.
Yes,
it
but
is.
Instead of
but
the 10-year-old boy content
I
that Teen Titans.
Teen
did.
Daniel, I
Titans
still
Go
watch the old Teen
is
Titans.
definitely a show that in itself is a joke that
Oh, yeah.
doesn't get the joke.
Yeah. They got
I
it
mean,
in
they
that
make
one
fun of their own
Yeah.
writer in
Yeah.
the show. At
I saw
some
a clip
point.
of that
But
on
they
YouTube,
don't
and I
get
was
that
like,
that's
this
the
is
thing
great.
that's the thing that anybody ever watches them for.
Yeah.
Like the only good episode from the show is where they make fun of the fact that they only have one fan.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they mentioned all the multiple Robins, but that's pretty much it.
Alright, so we got 4 minutes left. We should be wrapping up. Topics that we haven't done yet.
Yandere.
Chloe, anything else to say?
Why are
Wish
we
I stuck on
I
this.
don't know. You're a guest. You want to say something? Tell people about your art. Sponsor yourself. Any shameless promos you want to make?
check out
Self-
Hashtag
plugs.
shameless promo. My book comes out March 26th.
hashtag shameless.
Yeah, that's right.
On
Nikki's a high
Amazon.
schooler making a book, so this should be. She's probably
She's
gonna look
gonna
back
to
on this
kill
with
a
shame.
mockingbird this
Ooh. She's gonna outside.
I mean, Stephen King made.
I'm going to Outsiders.
Stephen made a book when
The
he was in high
Outsiders
school.
is my
that the one where
absolute
he-
favorite book,
Nah.
and I'm asking my mom to get me all 3 editions that are at Barnes and Noble for my birthday.
He did make that book
I
when he was in
love
high
The
school, Rage.
No.
But like, yeah, he did, but he didn't
shit.
publish it then. He threw it in like a box in his attic, and I forgot what it's
I
called.
think
when writers
Stephen
do
King
that.
had something going on.
For those of you who don't know, Stephen King wrote a book under his pen name about how a character kills a few of his teachers and holds his classmates hostage.
And
Yeah.
inspired
He
a bunch
wrote
of
it in
school
high school.
shootings.
Yes.
So I
And
mean,
inspired a bunch of
No,
school
he
shootings.
wrote that when he was a sophomore in
Yeah.
high school.
But he didn't
But he
publish it
didn't
till later.
revise it and edit it until later when he was like looking through his box of like undone stories, and he was like, "Hey, these actually look kind of good. I'll just go on ahead and
This looks pretty.
Edit
oh,
them a
wait.
bit.
it's literally just a box of scrapped stories.
That's
I
gotta
don't
be
know
like-
what it's
a
called.
lot
That's
of
gotta be.
authors
I wonder
make.
if
I
he
think it's
had
like
left
called the
that.
Dead Box.
Let's think
He
that.
keeps
Essentially,
he
yeah.
keeps a box inside of his kitchen cabinet for 2 years on end, and then he reads over the stories, so he has like a fresh outlook on all
Let's
the stories.
think about this
Yeah.
for a minute. Let's say he didn't open that box until after he died, and somebody like who was it? Edgar Allan Poe, who was like they found all his stories after he died. I can't remember.
Yeah,
Not good
it
at
might have
English
been.
history. But they somebody found that and realized, oh, he made this while he was in high school. Imagine what kind of reputation you would have had after he died. Okay, thanks for answering on that. Thanks for elaborating.
You're welcome.
All right.
All right, we're about to end it in a few seconds, so we probably should say our goodbyes.
Peace out.
All right. I'm Blake.
I'm Chloe.
I'm wrong.
I'm Mark.
Nicole.
And I'm Hannah.
Thanks for coming on the show, Chloe. It has been a nice episode.
It's been a
Thanks for
pleasure.
having me.
Woo!
It's been weird.
It's been said we didn't have Midnight Plays this episode, but hey, who needs that guy?
Because
It's
I
been
mean, come
unreasonably
on,
loud
he just
here.
doesn't show up. That's fine.
we're still waiting for that shameless promotion.
And for all of you out there, one thing to say.
We love you.
Please clap.
Please like this video if you liked any of the stuff. Comment, and pretty much that's it. Oh, check out our Twitter and our Facebook, and comment
Twitter at
And subscribe.
I don't have
and subscribe. Please subscribe.
Facebook
and
at
hit
Loud
that
Mouth
little
Give us money.
notifications bell.
Give us money.
Self-promotion to me. Follow me on Instagram.
you already got
My
your self promotion.
my username is golden_artist. That's it.
All right.
All right,
And I think we are literally running out of time in 7 seconds, so great time to stop.
This has been
Thank you.
Loudmouth.